man.
Last night we interviewed someone. They were talking about boiling boiling snow.
Yes.
Right.
And now they're
Melting
talking about
snow.
melting ice.
Okay.
These people in St. Bernard, y'all are awesome. Y'all are so creative about how to use the potty.
They're the ones that you go to after, natural disaster.
A zombie attack,
you
any
go-
sort of
you go to Chalmette.
apocalypse, you go to Chalmette.
From Chalmette to Violet, they got you safe.
You are taken care of.
Oh,
yes,
my goodness.
absolutely.
Now, if you're going to drink the melted snow water, make sure you're taking the top of the snow, not just on the ground.
Make sure it's
And not
obviously
the-
not
Just like
yellow.
the people who did the whatchamacallit, the snowballs.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
No,
we're
yeah,
doing
use it
that.
at the top, not. And then my daughter, I pulled a icicle off the roof, and then she went and.
Oh my God.
I'm like, no, Lucy, it's the funk of the roof that's. And I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
It's already done.
Just a natural immunity, whatever was on our rooftop.
Yeah.
It's already
It
done.
is melting. Thankfully, we are starting to see. Now, I am in the same camp. I've been posting this on social media. I'm in the same camp. It has been gorgeous. It has been fun. But as far as on the roadways, I'm done. Now, temperatures, interestingly enough, didn't get as cold as I thought they would on the North Shore. And what likely occurred is that we did have a bit more cloudiness move in late last night. Clouds at night will act as a blanket and prevent those temperatures from just bottoming out. Now, it was still cold, but I thought we would see more of this, mid-20s, and we only got into the upper 20s. So really not a hard freeze last night north or areas out to the west and southwest. However, we are under clear skies now, so I do think our temperatures will be getting colder for tonight. We were 32 degrees, so right at freezing. So as far as any conditions on the roads for refreezing, not looking very likely. Certainly not on the South Shore, but north of the lake, even that, we will be in that mid to upper 20 range, but I don't believe we're going to see a great deal of refreezing. And thankfully, with a lot of sunshine, while we continue to see a lot of melting, we're also seeing a lot of evaporation where it's not just liquid sitting on the roadways. We are seeing a lot of that liquid evaporate. 53 degrees was our high today, and most of us got into the 50s during the day. Gorgeous sunset looking out this evening, 51 degrees right now, and 26 at the moment. Winds light at moment out of the north-northwest at 6 miles an hour. So upper 40s, low 50s outside. After we have been all this week, it almost feels balmy with temperatures like this. Now, overnight tonight, again, in the metro area, if we do get to freezing, it's not going to be for a very long duration. May only briefly touching at around 32 degrees or so. Now, this is for the airport. Elsewhere away from the lake, we could be a couple of degrees colder than that, but I don't really think it's going to be necessarily anything that will cause additional issues on the roadway. So more melting. Now, we will be for a longer duration below freezing north of the lake, but again, it's not a magic number as soon as you hit 32 degrees that anything instantly freezes. You have to be there for a while. So we could see a little bit of refreezing on the roads, but definitely during the day tomorrow in Hammond, we're getting into the 50s across the North Shore. And once we get above freezing tomorrow morning, we are not getting back below freezing. So one more freeze for both sides of the lake. Then by Sunday morning, we're starting out in the 30s and low 40s. So that one additional day of maybe the pipe weather on the North Shore, just keep them protected. And then south of the lake, not an issue any longer. And then this is also the area highlighted in pink that we could see a little bit of refreezing on the roads, but I don't believe that's going to be a major concern, and then not a concern at all as we continue through Sunday and all of next week. In fact, looking at the 7 to 10 day forecast, and now going into February, no cold air. We will continue with a thaw. Now, obviously, we're still in winter. We will see more cold fronts, but at least in the near term, not happening. So significant melting has occurred today, more tomorrow. We'll have that one additional freeze tonight, and then after that, I think the ice and snow will be gone. It has been pretty, but it's time to move on. So the ice on the roads, our last concern for our weather impact alert, just go slow on the roadways. A lot more folks hitting the roads, but there are still some areas of patchy ice, just to use some caution. High pressure actually out to our west is keeping us under beautiful sunny skies, and we will remain under clear skies tonight, but again, that will likely lead us to get a little bit colder. Then as we head into the day on Saturday, we finally start to pick up more of an easterly and then southwest or southeasterly wind. That starts bringing back the warmer and slightly more humid air from the Gulf. That'll start bringing in some cloudiness on Sunday, and a weak front starts to approach us late Sunday and into Monday. Not going to do anything for our temperatures. This is not an Arctic polar air mass by any means. As a matter of fact, our temperature is not going to do anything. All that front will likely do going into the day on Monday is bring in a chance for some scattered showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two. This deep upper trough that is pushing across the country right now really just reinforced the cold air that we have in place at the moment, not bringing back colder air, and the upper pattern is changing. So that polar vortex that brought in that polar Arctic Siberian air, it is now lifting to the north. And good news, if you just kind of want to break for a little while, is that going through next week, while we do see another polar vortex come out of the North Pole and across Hudson's Bay, this one stays from Hudson's Bay into eastern Canada and keeps the core of that cold air well to the north. And this model goes right into the start of February, and no real signs of cold air coming as we start next month. Obviously, we are still in winter, as I said, so we will see more cold air masses, just not in the near term. And in fact, our temperature outlook is likely will stay above average, and even going into the first full week of February, we are likely going to stay above average. Now, there are some indications we will see another cold blast as we get kind of into the second week of February, but now we're going out beyond 2 weeks, so little confidence in that forecast, but we certainly will see more cold air. So one more morning of the sub-freezing temperatures for a weather impact alert. Once we are above freezing, we're not looking back, as temperatures will be on the rise through the next several days. Staying in the 60s, might see a weak front late in next week, which might help to knock our temperatures down a bit, but temperatures overall staying in the 60s.